Welcome to the Average Adventuring Party, where we used to be the Amazing Adventuring Party, but we took an arrow to the knee. You know, shifting these intros around every session is worth it just to see the looks of disdain that the party gives me, even though half of them help come up with these.
Yeah, blame it on us.
Yeah, they tell me what to say, and I say it, and then they judge me.
I judge you anyway.
Yeah, that's tough but fair. Alright, so last time, these guys totally didn't kick an Imperial hornet nest. Which by that I mean they did. And...
well, it's more like we charged it.
Yeah, you headbutted it.
Yeah.
And then I showed it my ass twice.
Galdrien butt-butted it.
Butt-butting.
Basically, the sovereignty troops had arrived looking for Suna. Shannara managed to get herself captured for quote-unquote assaulting one of them. And the party enacted a mostly successful rescue, where they totally didn't abandon a loyal and faithful ally.
Rip, proud scream.
So, and the cabbage guy.
The cabbage guy.
That was the real fatality there.
The real tragedy is that a tiny little cabbage man got snuffed by a spear.
I would have called it assaulted.
He got turned into coleslaw for the good of the group, for the greater good.
It was a good try, Suna.
So yeah, that's where we're going to pick up, is these guys escaping Overlook down into the caldera. It's probably 9 in the morning. It's very early.
Proof that we can get up to shenanigans at any time of the day.
Galdrien's proven that he can get things up no matter what.
True.
You guys, if you recall, you have to go sort of down this sloping, zigzagging mountain path to get into the caldera proper. By the time you guys hit the tall grass, there's a couple of those troops just standing in the gateway of Overlook, just firing arrows into the grass at you. And for the most part, you're out of range, but every now and then one will hit nearby you. Which way are you going? As I don't believe this was discussed prior to enacting.
We had a long, thought-out discussion. We were heading to that one place with a name.
Okay, we
really weren't we?
Cardinal?
Yeah, we were heading to Cardinal.
No, we wanted to go to... I think we wanted to actually go to Believe.
We do, but Cardinal first. That
I
was...
think actually my ear is closer than Cardinal.
yeah.
Okay.
Just
Well, we're heading west, and then we'll start taking adjustments to my ear, you said?
Yeah, which is like the northernmost green point with the dot on it. That is my ear.
Yeah, because Destrum is closer and it's on the way, but there's not really anything there of note.
We stopped at Destrum.
Correct.
before.
yeah.
So, just for the listeners, I do want to say, if you can't understand me through my terrible enunciation, the town Maier is not spelled Myear like I am saying it. It is Maier.
Like
Those
Meyer.
of you of a German bent might pronounce it Meyer if you were
Correct.
to look at it.
So you guys travel for probably the better part of an hour or two, and you get to Destrum.
I'm back in my fox form, by the way.
Okay. As you enter the city, it's much as you remember it. There's about a 3-foot tall wooden wall. Rather, it's a picket fence style wall all the way around the city. Torches everywhere. Your friend, the half giant Gavik, is walking around collecting these tiny torches with his massive mitts, and your other buddy Dahlia is sitting on top of the only 2-story building in the place with your elven friend, just kind of watching everything go by. They wave to you as you enter the city.
Gavik!
Gavik stops what he's doing, brings the torches back, sets them down, and then just gives you a big hug.
I'll give him a big hug. There's trouble!
He looks concerned, then looks over your shoulder, doesn't see anything, looks at you.
It's over in Overlook. The Sunchaser Sovereignty has sent troops to occupy the city.
They have Proud Screen.
Oh no. not proud scream. He runs over to Dahlia and starts like yelling at her about Overlook. And you can hear him because he is exceptionally loud, and he is literally not making any sense because he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's just yelling about Overlook and proud scream.
That's our Gavik.
He's
Do we need any supplies, or do we push on?
I think we're good on supplies, but let me go speak to them. I think this message is urgent. I would like to see if we can at least send some aid their way.
Yeah, that won't end horribly.
At least some diplomatic aid.
Yeah, Dahlia gets off of her chair and sets her crossbow down and starts climbing down the side of the building and starts walking towards you and says, I don't know what you said to him, but he's difficult to understand when he's excited.
The Sun Chaser Sovereignty has sent troops to occupy Overlook.
Oh, that's fun.
And
they have crouch screen.
Yes.
Oh, the fools.
No, they were putting a pretty bad beating on them whenever we were fleeing.
We can't do anything, unfortunately. We're the only 3 stationed here, so...
Can y'all send messenger pigeons or crows or anything to the other outlook posts? Because the Sovereignty will probably be coming through looking for us.
We expect some patrols coming through here shortly. I imagine we can send word that way.
Yes, it's about to get very bad very fast.
Okay.
They seemed a little upset when we left.
Yeah, just don't tell them we came through here.
For your own safety.
Oh, I can do that.
Gavik, on the other hand,
Yeah.
I worry about him.
Oh, no, he's fine. He's fine. I don't think he would turn in a friend.
They might not give him the choice. They have powerful mages who can compel people to speak the truth, whether they want to or not.
Oh, well, it's a good thing he's resistant to magic, then.
Well, if anyone does
That's
ask...
and she, taps her chest. It's the thing, with them.
Well, if anyone does ask, we are headed to the abandoned copper mine to the southeast of Overlook.
You want me to tell them that you came into the caldera to go back to Overlook?
We had unfinished business at the abandoned copper mine to the southeast of Overlook.
I mean, I'll tell them, but...
If they ask.
Where are you actually going so I don't tell them that?
No.
No, that's actually where we're going.
That's where we're going, and he'll wink at her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I got you. Sure. Just a heads up. There's been a lot of movement out in the grass today. Something's going on out there. We actually had a small stampede of kudu or something like that come through earlier. And usually they don't stampede unless something's hunting them. So just keep your ears up. Well, I mean, you don't have a choice.
I always do.
Me too.
Everybody here has pointy ears.
They can. I can wiggle them a little bit. And Galdrien flexes the muscles to make them kind of go. He has that ability to.
Oh, that's cute. Look at mine.
Yeah, he doesn't. He can't do it nearly as much as nearly as much as.
Meanwhile, Iocus slices a fly in half with his ears. She says, "Oh, look at you! Isn't that cute with your skin and flesh and ears?" She doesn't have ears.
It's all right. You don't need them.
She says, "I know. I can do this," and she gives you that and kind of flexes a little bit, and the flower on top of her head blooms just a little bit more.
That's fancy.
It's very lovely.
We need to be going, though.
Yes. We need to get going.
Right.
Again, abandoned copper mine.
Do you need anything, or...
How hot does it get here in the afternoons? I have vague memories of heat stroke.
Out on the road, you could probably do with a hat.
You got
Got a barrel of water?
A barrel of water?
You could carry it.
Yeah, that's...
Sure. I can get you some head coverings.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we're probably going to need those.
Yeah, hold on.
Actually, I have a hat.
Yeah, you've got
Yeah,
it.
well, like
It's a four.
I'm wearing a hat.
Yep. So she comes back and she's got like heavy cloth and effectively twine so that you can tie it around your head. It says, "Best I could do on short notice."
We'll make it work.
Here you go, big fella. And she just kicks a cask over to you. It's like maybe a 5-gallon cask.
Okay, I'll just shoulder it. And...
She's like, "Oh, well, you can just wear it."
Oh, okay, that's fine too.
Yeah, it's got strings on it,
All right.
so you can.
Backpack it.
Yeah, you can either backpack it or just throw it over your shoulder.
Okay.
I don't need anything.
Oh,
I have my wilderness survival.
okay.
Well, having some
When
backup
you
water.
change your mind. Okay.
Backup water will work.
I'm never affected by heat or cold.
Okay.
Fancy.
Take care of yourself.
We'll keep an eye out. I guarantee if they piss Gavik off, they're really not gonna get a second chance.
Gavik, elves in armor with funny shoulders? Bad.
He looks at Galdrien,
Not him. Not him.
looks at Ardith, and it's like, meh.
Good shoulders? Bad shoulders.
No.
Looks
Good shoulders?
looks at Shannara, who
Yeah, how is Shinar doing?
she is just staring straight ahead and is not saying anything.
Thank you all. We need to deal with this and go on.
Yep, gives you the big wave. And Dahlia says, "Oh, don't mope. Go pick up the torches like you were supposed to do." And this, like 9-foot tall guy kicks rocks and
Big
then walks. Yeah,
Boulders.
yeah, just kicks like a cloud of dust up, and then goes and picks up the pile of torches that he set down and continues gathering them up. You guys leave Destrum, and there's a road going to Mair, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So another hour or so passes, and I would like you guys to make me a perception-based wisdom check. So any background you feel might be appropriate.
That's Spike Jack. Ooh. You said wisdom?
So remember to add your level.
25.
25,
13.
13, 13.
21.
Okay. Most appropriately,
Seeing as I can see over most of the grass.
yeah, Iocus and Ardith are actually paying attention because, they're used to
Bad things happening around us.
not just that, but it's standard operating procedure to ambush people in the authority. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah, that's fair.
that's
That's
a legitimate business tactic as far as they're concerned.
Spike Jack.
Yeah. So at some point, you guys do that thing where you're walking and then you turn around to look behind you and walk backwards, and you notice maybe half a mile behind you, there's just a guy in a robe with the cowl pulled up, and he's just walking way back there, just walking your way.
That doesn't look in the least suspicious.
Oh, no, not at all.
You want to set up a welcoming party for him?
Sure, I'd like to hit something.
Yeah, me too. So,
Galdrien, can you keep an eye on Shinar?
Right. And Galdrien will sort of sidle up next to Shannara like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
I've been better.
I understand. Look, I know you've been hit by a lot at once. Time fuckery, waking up and discovering that you're 30 years younger and having a lifetime of memories that you suddenly remember. Being
It's
in
not just that, Galdrien. Mom is about to wage a war. You realize that, don't you?
And as soon as we finish up here, we will go right over there and put a stop to it.
That's what killed Dad. His heart couldn't take it.
I won't let that happen, I promise.
Well, that's what you and Ardith were supposed to help with the first go-around. And look how that turned out. You disappeared for nearly 30 years.
That's not going to happen this time. We're doing things right this time. We have a chance to do things right. You're here. We can stop things from going wrong.
Uh-huh. Hey, where'd Ardith go?
We're being followed. She went to set up an ambush.
I figure we wait till we round a curve or go down a hill so he doesn't just see two people disappear.
Hmm?
FYI.
So you guys wait until there's a curve in the path, disappear. What do the two of you do, Galdrien and Suna? Yeah, you guys should make me a
Stealth
dexterity
check,
save
yeah.
for stealth.
23.
And
19.
give me an appropriate background if you think you have one that fits.
26 with Spikejack, because skullduggery.
Yeah.
Setting up ambushes, 100%.
Sure, let's add a 3 to that. That 19.
All right, so what's your total?
Oh,
22.
mine was...
Okay.
I'm sorry. 26.
Okay. So
Surprisingly stealthy cow.
you guys disappear into the tall grass. What did you two say you were doing?
Probably continuing to move so that we don't tip off whoever's following us.
Okay.
He can't notice an 8-foot cow just isn't there.
Yep. You guys hear him walking around the bend. I say him. You hear this figure walking around the bend. The rest of your party continues on. After a moment, you hear footsteps. Step, 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 step. They sound like they're walking right past you, but nobody is there.
Huh.
I'm going to take some dirt and toss it across the road.
Iocus, you throw a handful of dirt across the road,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing. It just clouds out, settles down. You still hear the footsteps, but do not see a figure.
So while we're walking,
Mm-hmm.
can I focus on just the ground and see if maybe I can feel how heavy the person is or how much it's pressing on the earth? Any type of
Using.
vibration?
Do you
type?
have an ability?
Yes.
So your previous contemplation benefit would have worn off.
Yeah. But it's cave, dungeon, underworld.
Correct.
So I can't use that. What kind of area are we in?
Grasslands.
You are in grasslands, plains, mountain, volcano.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I do not do that. Oh, wait a minute. Can I contemplate? Are we in a hellhole?
No.
I mean, technically.
Or an abyss?
You are not in either of those things.
Oh.
Which is to say you are not in the underworld or in a devil prince's domain.
Oh.
Yet.
We're not
Yes.
visiting Natalia.
I
Okay.
mean, Ferrari was here.
Well, after tossing out dirt and not seeing anything, Iocus will kind of stick his head out of the grass.
It's like, are the sound of the footprints in front of us, or
Yes, they're now in front of you.
okay,
Yeah, and I'll
like
look
it's
that way.
passing us.
Yes.
Maybe we should. Yeah.
What happened?
So it sounds like it's heading in front
It's,
of us. towards
it's
it.
following them.
I'm gonna pop out. You get ready to finish the ambush if shit goes down, and if not, I'm gonna follow this thing.
I'll follow you.
Okay. Yeah, are you still gonna pop out into the path, like behind it, where it would be? What do I see?
Nothing.
Nothing.
There are not even footprints.
I'm gonna toss a rock where it would be.
You toss a rock, and the sound of the footprints stop, and you just hear this voice go, "I'm terribly sorry, but could you not do that, please?"
I'm terribly sorry, but can you not be invisible?
I apologize. And it appears in front of you. I sometimes forget
Forget what?
to manifest myself.
What are you?
I'm Iocus as I step out.
I do not have a name.
We'll call you Wendy.
I suppose you may. I cannot stop you.
Okay, Wendy. What are you?
I am a construct.
Of?
I don't understand your question.
What are you made of?
I suppose ether?
I was hoping for wind.
Close enough.
If you don't mind, I need to go that way.
What's
The way that you're going. Why?
I have to talk to that gentleman up there. And he just points. Galdrien's up there.
Are you guys glancing back at all?
Yeah, Galdrien kind of turns around and is like, "Are we good?"
We found Wendy.
I think you have an admirer.
Oh, no. I'm sorry if I gave you that impression. That's not the case.
Are you here to murder
Sarcasm.
him?
Are you prescient?
I mean, I wanted to murder him.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to go through me first.
Well, I said want to, not that I would.
Actually, could if you don't mind, could we just... I would hate to have to tell this twice. Could we all...
Working on it.
Well, are you going to murder him first?
Who are you talking to?
Come back this way.
Right.
Like
And
all of us, or should I
Yes.
keep Shannara away?
Yes, all of us.
Okay.
he places a hand gently on Shannara's shoulder and just reassure her and starts walking that way.
As you walk that way, Ardith and Iocus are just talking to this... he's probably about Iocus's height. Just in this big robe. You guys are standing right next to him and you can't see his face.
Yay, cows.
When you approach, he says, most excellent. I apologize.
This is Wendy.
That is not, in fact, my name. I do not have a name.
I am Galdrien.
He holds out a hand, and when he does, the cowl pulls back, and there's just a skeletal hand there.
Yes, and Galdrien cautiously reaches out and shakes his hand.
He says, excellent. Most excellent. Would you like a spot of tea?
Actually, that sounds rather lovely. As long as there are no strings or conditions attached.
Oh, no.
I have to say that now.
Most assuredly not. And he has a walking stick in his other hand that you didn't notice. And he just plants it in the ground, and when it does, a scythe blade just swings out of it. And it's got a notch on the top of it, on top of the blade, and hanging from that is a teapot that is steaming. I hope you don't mind. I don't have any sugar.
Are we drinking dead people tea?
Since when did Terry Pratchett send his death here?
No,
I mean-
this is, in fact, a lovely black tea. I believe I sourced it somewhere near your homeland. And he looks at Ardith.
Okay. So it's stolen tea.
Would you care for a cup?
I said, guess if he freed it from them, it's liberty.
You're fired.
When he reaches up one of his sleeves and pulls out a cup on a saucer and pours a cup of tea for whomever would like it.
Look, all I know is that when a mysterious figure offers you tea, it's never a bad idea to accept.
Kind of like the mask that you shouldn't be putting on.
That he isn't putting on.
Oh, but he's drinking a cup of tea instead from a mysterious skeletal hand.
Who I will shank if he tries anything.
I don't think it'll do
Skeletal
anything.
hand. Don't think a shank will do anything.
I can
Would-
try.
Wendy's been perfectly pleasant.
You
That's
little,
true.
Little fox person, would you care for a cup of tea?
Yeah,
What kind of tea is it? Where'd you get your leaves?
He just said.
Like from a tree?
Well, from a crate.
From a crate.
It's from the 5-star authority somewhere.
It's a
Which
crate
means
tea.
it could come from...
Which means it could be laced with drugs.
Not
Would
usually.
it assuage you if I were to take a sip first?
I mean, aren't you mostly dead already?
Or not really alive.
That
Yeah.
is
I
very
don't
offensive.
know. I drink
I-
some...
I apologize for their suspicious nature. We've had a very long day already.
I drank some mushrooms that made me throw up a bunch of acorns, and I hold up the stone acorn again
He
and say, like this one?
says, "May I?"
Sure.
This is news to me.
Bony fingers reach out and grab it, and he holds it up to the cowl. I want you to be clear in that he's not holding it under the cowl and looking at it. The cowl is over his face, and it is in front of the cowl, and he is looking at it, going, "Oh, that's fascinating. It contains a spark of life," and hands it back to you.
Ah,
Contains a spark of life.
Yes,
that's rather interesting.
Well, like as in I can plant it and it will grow? Like that kind of spark of life? Or like I need to break something out of it because it has life in it?
Oh, horticulture is not my specialty, so I can't tell you if you should plant it or not. But it is a unique specimen.
Interesting. I will take a cup of tea.
Oh, very good.
Do you know why I threw it up?
I would imagine it is bonded to your soul in some way.
So I shouldn't lose it, is what you're saying.
If I were to be capable of spontaneously manifesting tiny pockets of creation, I suppose I would not lose it.
Suna, in my expert medical opinion, there's something wrong with you.
There's always something wrong with me. My leg was stone last time. Do you not remember that?
Yes.
You are handed
Yes.
a slightly smaller cup of tea.
Galdrien sips his tea. He says, well, we have...
It's bitter. Like, it's very bitter.
Galdrien doesn't mind bitter tea.
Anyone else?
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Well,
Unoffered.
He reaches up his sleeve and pulls out one last cup, takes the pot, pours himself a cup, pulls his cowl back, and it is just a skull.
Well, we kind of expected that at this point.
And he has that thing where you can clearly see the underside of his jaw has no... It looks like a jaw, just a bone. And when he opens his mouth and pours tea in, the tea does not fall through or anything like that. It just disappears.
well, you had business to discuss with me?
Well, I actually have business to discuss with all of you.
Oh, joy.
Fascinating.
I am in quite an unfortunate position. You understand. This is never an easy conversation to have. Would you like to take a seat?
Galdrien looks around.
There's just dirt.
No, I think we're fine.
Well-
Suna's going to plop down and grab a little sugar out of her bag and put it in the tea.
It is... Oh, do you mind? And he holds out his cup for some sugar.
Grab another little pinch and put it in there.
Thank you.
You're a sugar mama for death. Way to go.
He says, this is awkward every time, but I am under an obligation to inform you that your souls, and bodies for that matter, are forfeit, and I have been tasked with taking them with me to the underworld.
I don't know this guy.
That's unfortunate for you,
Oh, well then I know him.
but you, Suna, you, Iocus, Galdrien, Ardith, and Shannara have been specifically identified.
That's what?
Wow, get in line.
Again, I am not in an enviable position to inform you of this, just that I am bonded to remove your souls from your physical beings, which is unfortunately fatal.
When is it due?
As has been explained to me, and he reaches up his sleeve and pulls out just this massive scroll. Immediately, but I am not unreasonable.
May I see that?
Certainly.
Right. Galdrien takes the scroll and starts looking through it. All right.
There's just literally nothing on it.
So if you say immediately, you've already failed on your contract, because by speaking to us, it's not immediate, correct?
As the executor of said contract, I am allowed a certain amount of leeway in regards to the actual execution of the contract.
Excellent. So, immediately could mean now, or just a little bit from now, or a little bit previous from now. It's within your sway, correct?
It is within my best interest to do so immediately, and that's actually why I would like to speak with you. It is easier for all of us if you were to just come with me.
And by coming with you, that would not necessarily mean that we would, you would actually be ripping anything from our bodies.
Correct. If you willingly gave your souls to me, you would peacefully and painlessly exit your mortal shell, at which point I would deliver you to the being who executed said contract.
Who is said being?
Hold on. He takes the contract back from you, looks. It does not specifically say I cannot name the originator. He folds it up, sticks it back up his sleeves. You have been summoned by the Devil Prince Rarari. Or on Rarari's behalf by one of his underlings.
So let us go meet with his underlings, and we'll willingly go to a meeting with him without losing our mortal shells or souls or anything like that.
Unfortunately, to cross that particular barrier, you have to have specific magics, which are not available to me, or be dead.
Yes, but you said immediately. Would you be able to locate said magics? Because we would willingly go with you if we had said magics and kept, these mortal shells that we're so prolifically attached to.
To be clear, the contract stipulates your death either way. So you would either die here or die there.
I'm afraid that I am already bound by an existing contract, and am thus unable to fulfill the terms and obligations laid out herein. There is already a devil prince to whom my soul is bound in eternal matrimony.
Oh, that's actually most interesting. Could you name this devil prince?
Yes, the devil prince Nephalia.
Ah, I see. Hold on. And he reaches up his other sleeve, pulls out a scroll, and just starts reading off names. He's like, Econus. No.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that name. This is an extra, not quite an extra planar affair, but right now at this time,
extra temporal.
I believe she, or rather he, goes by the name of Fossus. You see, it has and yet has not come to pass.
The skull is particularly expressive for something that is pretty static. You get the impression that he is raising his eyebrows at you despite having no eyebrows.
He has eyebrow ridges.
He has a static eyebrow ridges, yes, but he gives you the raised eyebrow, looks at his sheet again, says, "No, I'm sorry, I don't see any higher powers by that name that I can appeal to."
Well, it's quite unfortunate because there would be a conflict at such a point that Fossus, or rather Nephalia, assumes her true form and ascends, because then there would be a conflict between these two contracts, and it would cause quite the stir between Rarari and Nephalia, and we would not want that.
Well, to be clear, I'm ambivalent towards that. I'm just the messenger, the courier, if you will.
Of course, but I would not involve you in such affairs, but surely you understand my position here.
I understand. Nobody wants to die, inasmuch as a being that cannot die cannot quite understand what you're going through.
Well, I have a question for you. Have you lived yet?
I cannot.
Well, you want to get up to some hijinks? I mean, you say immediately. For somebody who's not bound by time, immediately is fairly fluid. And so, you saw what just happened. You had to have walked through Overlook. There are some experiences to be had, so you can be executing immediately. Just a little bit. We just want to help save the people in Caldera.
I appreciate what you're doing. I've had this conversation many times before. So, I understand your hesitance. But I'm going to have to be insistent. I just offer this as an option, if you will. And he takes a sip of tea. Oh, I seem to be empty. And then he just puts the cup back up his sleeve. I can give you some time to prepare, but you have to understand that there is a line
of course
that I have to deal with.
Say 3 weeks?
No. I was thinking, he looks up at the sun, 3 hours.
That is not a lot of time. I do not think we will be able to find our old buddy Fossus by then.
We should head to Cardinal
I am,
and the ghost wards.
Going to Cardinal.
Most reasonable, I think, in giving you time to put your affairs at rest.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I just want you to know, and he holds out a bony hand, no hard feelings regarding this.
Oh,
It's just business.
And we all have to die?
Yes, the contract stipulates all of you.
but I have no idea who Rory is. What have y'all gotten me into?
Yeah,
Talk.
me neither.
We'll talk.
This sounds very undesirable.
I know.
All right.
If you're having trouble,
Why can't this Rory come see us? Why do we have to die to go see him?
Because Rory, is trapped under this caldera.
no. Rarari is... Are you familiar with astral politics?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, well.
Some.
Rarari is one of the slumbering devil princes.
Excuse me, point of order. This does not count against our 3 hours, because this will take a while to explain.
Oh, most certainly.
So it's kind of like the slumbering gods.
Yes. Just as some of the gods are trapped in their domains for the rest of time in the astral sea, the majority, if not all of the devils, all of the devils, are trapped in their domains in the astral sea as well, and cannot manifest here on the plane.
So why do we have to die? You can't just take us down there? As we are?
No. Unless you have a magic that can teleport you to the astral sea, no, the only way for me to take you directly would be for you to cross over.
But we've been to the astral sea before.
Yes, but you are not there now.
But we didn't have to die to get there before.
Okay.
So
Are you in possession of those means of transportation?
Perhaps we might find something where we're headed.
Perhaps, but it seems unlikely.
Well, if I've learned anything in my years of travel, it's that the unlikely tends to happen. Case in point, being served tea by yourself.
Ah, yes. I take your meaning. But, to quote a human idiom, I would not count on it. Speaking of, and he reaches up his sleeve and pulls out a wound pocket watch and just cranks the spring on it and then hits the button on top and just holds it out.
Tick tock.
Let's go. Hate to be rude, but we're in a hurry. Cardinal.
Yes.
Okay. What's in Cardinal?
Wards.
Wards. Okay.
And Galdrien's already moving, and he's grabbing Shannara because she's probably the slowest one.
Mm-hmm.
And we are...
Booking it.
So, I'll say, based on Galdrien's previous experience here in the Caldera, you would either have to ford a particularly large river to go directly to Cardinal, or you would have to go up to my ear and around and down, which would certainly probably take you more than 3 hours.
Let's see. Fording a river, how long do we think that might take?
It'll probably take you hour and a half to get there if you hustle.
Let's go ahead and try fording the river. Let's see.
Fording mean?
Crossing big
Crossing
pieces
a
of
big
water.
Oh,
river.
I can breathe in water.
And
Or have a spell that I can do.
yeah, Galdrien's probably had some experience crossing. Galdrien has experience crossing bodies of water. He canonically does. In the mouth of a dragon.
Alright,
Alright.
so you guys hustle?
Oh, yes.
We hustle.
Yeah.
I slow down for these guys.
Yeah, it takes you a while, but you eventually get to a river, and across the river, we'll say to the southwest, in a low point, there's a hill which drops away, and you see the city of Cardinal, which is shaped, think like a classic compass rose with the 8 points. And it has these white walls that curve up and in. Mm-hmm. If you've seen a prison fence, kind of like that. And there's all sorts of people milling around it. There doesn't really appear to be a ferry service or anything like that to get across. And this river is a few hundred feet wide.
I'm gonna sit down and contemplate
What are you contemplating?
how big the river is and how much I would love to swim across it.
Okay.
And so I would do the ocean island one. I can swim in water like a dolphin, but I do have to surface to breathe.
No.
No?
You would do the river swamp one,
Oh.
as this is a river and not an ocean.
What's that do for you?
Gain +3 bonus to disengage checks. Because that's going to help me.
I disengage from the water.
She can. That's what bird form is.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
she
she
can just
can fly
swim
across.
across.
Oh,
Or
that's
fly
true. I
across.
can just
Yeah,
fly
the
across.
river is not particularly rapid at this point. It's fairly sluggish. It is flowing south, but not
Fast.
fast.
Are there any like what sort of plant life is around?
So the tall grass has given way to this sort of verdant green, I don't know, 2 foot tall grass with the thick blades.
Okay, so probably hack
And
down.
there's no boats out on the river.
No, that's
None
part of it.
whatsoever?
Not on this part of it.
Okay.
Oh, you said there's all sorts of plants in there?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like reeds and cattails and things like that.
So I could do the nature talking and talk to the plants and ask them to make little lily pads that we could hop across.
So,
No.
do you have the ritual caster feat?
Yep.
No, because
No?
she couldn't take
Oh,
it, but she'll have to spend. Because remember, she.
Oh, that's right.
But she.
This is a twice per day.
Correct.
Oh,
The
so
ritual
she'll
spell.
spend a daily on it, but it's okay because we're.
You cannot.
it's not a daily.
No. So one thing at a time.
Okay.
Talking to plants does not allow you to command them to do things that a
I said
plant.
ask.
It does not allow you to ask them to do things that a plant cannot do by itself.
Oh.
So you cannot tell, for example, a reed to tie itself into a knot.
I can ask them if there's a way to, if there's a spot near here that is walkable rather than swim.
That's a good use of that power.
Okay.
So you walk up to one of the plants and ask it if there's a place that is shallow, and we'll say it starts bending slightly to the north.
How far north? Like a long ways north? I don't know how that's gonna tell me yes or no.
Yeah.
Point at me if it is more than 100 yards north.
It does not point at you.
Okay. So there is a shallow spot that we could walk across to the north.
Sure, but let's hustle.
Galdrien will take first watch and try to keep an eye out for it. And then he'll see Iocus and say, Iocus, you're probably much better at this sort of thing than I am. What with your look at you. If you step in the river, you're probably not going to drown as easily as the rest of us are.
Blink, blink.
You're gonna be the tester.
Yes.
Have you seen how graceful my bovine cousins are in the water? Do you see how big I am? Do you see the places the mud goes? I say the pretty little elf goes.
All right, let me borrow your staff.
I was talking about Ardith, but okay.
Yes, Ardith is very, very pretty.
Oh, you know something other than
I mean,
old
I
fashioned?
can use my time as a desert nomad. Not great with large bodies of water, but I did have to find oases and whatnot. Make sure that the halflings weren't going to drown in it.
Yeah, sounds like a good wisdom check.
Mm,
16.
16. So Iocus, you start looking for shallow spots, and you realize as you get further and further upstream, the water is particularly clear, and you find a spot that is more rock than silt.
Mm.
And you get out there, and it's maybe up to your thighs.
Okay.
So it'd be waist high for everyone else. And you start crossing.
Okay. This way, guys.
Okay.
Say thank you to the plants.
Thank
you,
you, plants.
I'm still going to turn into a raven, though.
Yeah. Don't want to get wet?
I'll grab Shannara and
Yeah.
piggyback her.
Yeah, because she started like trying to pull vials out and put it in her bag so she could hold it over her head. And
No, just
Yeah,
keep that
I'm just gonna piggyback her, like up on the shoulders, just like old times. Let's go, Nara. She can hold on to the horn.
you guys get across to the other side and start heading towards Cardinal. As you get closer, you realize some of those figures you saw are sort of translucent. And as you get closer, some of them clearly have death wounds. Iocus has probably seen a ghost in his time. There are just ghosts milling about here and there.
This doesn't seem normal.
It's not.
These ghosts wander the city. We've been here before in our past life. You get used to it.
I've seen ghosts.
You can pay for them to
I've made ghosts.
be laid to rest, if you're feeling charitable.
But I'm not charitable.
Yeah. You step foot in the city.
So why are we here? Y'all never told me.
Looking for Rarari's desire.
Well, that, and we're hoping that the words that are keeping the ghosts in are going to keep that thing out.
So we're stuck here.
For now.
Okay.
We're stuck here till we find a plan. That was better than the last plan.
We do seem to charge into plans.
Also, know how you were asking who Rarari was?
Uh-huh.
You know the Barjanasi lady?
Uh-huh.
She's working for him.
Oh.
She wants to bust out Kemet
Okay.
so he can bust out and Rarari can be free.
Oh.
Kemet being the oldest red dragon in existence. Who,
Yeah.
All of these things sound like things we do know.
yes.
Okay.
And this
come
is
on.
why I did not tell that thing to go fuck itself.
So why would he want us down there?
To stop us
Uh-huh.
from interfering.
We do seem to interfere a lot. Okay.
But why
Okay.
not just kill us? Why bring our souls down there?
Sounds like y'all got up to some astral soul fuckery before, so...
I don't know, but maybe we'll find out more if we talk to someone who actually knows something about Rarari, and I vote we go talk to her right this instant.
I mean, she does work at an inn. Or
Yes.
at least a bar.
Yes. What was the name of that bar, anyway?
Something about a rose?
Yes.
By any other name?
Galdrien's going to rack his mind to try to remember it. As a wandering minstrel of sorts, I imagine he probably has never met a bar he doesn't
Remember
doesn't
what it's
remember.
like, how service is, and how he can entertain.
Yeah.
So we'll say about this time, one of you looks around and looks back at the gate to Cardinal, and that hooded figure is just standing right outside of it, just watching you. When you wave, he waves back.
We're working on it. And Galdrien is going to try to remember. Would I say that being a bard and being very accustomed to inns, he can try to remember last time he was here what the bar was where Rarari's Desire worked?
Sure. Sounds like a good intelligence check.
He's got the intelligence. 26.
26.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember it is called the Hidden Rose in Badger.
The Hidden Rose in Badger. So he's gonna have this moment of recollection. Says, the Hidden Rose in Badger. Yes, I remember it.
I hope she works there in this timeline.
Me too. Things are just different enough that it throws me off, but some things are exactly as I remember them, so... right. The Hidden Rose should be in that direction. And he's going to start leading the party in that direction.
You guys start walking that way. You get maybe 2 or 3 minutes away, and you see this ugly, squat little creature. I don't know, it's maybe a foot tall. Looks like, if you think of the classic like bas-relief gargoyle with the twisted features and the stony wings, it looks like that, and everyone is just giving it a wide berth. And it toddles up to you, walks up to you, and just like yanks on your pant leg.
Galdrien kind of tries to dance around and says, yes, pardon me, what do you need?
It opens its mouth and goes, ah, and points.
What's it pointing at?
Just more into the city.
So, do you need food?
Its head swivels around on its body, so like its body remains facing Galdrien, but its head faces you, and it just looks you up and down. Its head spins around again.
Galdrien looks at someone else's. What is this? I don't remember this.
You just grab a passerby, and he's like, I don't know. It's a horribly deformed child.
Sorry. And he's going to try to move away from it.
It keeps in step with you. It has to toddle really fast and just like hops from foot to foot. It doesn't really have any articulation at the knee.
He's going to move a little faster and just try to move away from this thing and just keep moving in the direction that he's going because he's on a time crunch.
And he is basically pointing you in the direction that you're going.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. We're going in the same direction.
Galdrien and this thing take off. Slowly
Okay.
at first and then gaining speed.
Okay,
Galdrien's not allowing himself to be distracted, but...
that's new. But let's keep going.
Lead the way.
When Galdrien goes to make a right turn at some point, this thing just grabs him by the cuff of the pants and then gestures to the left.
Your little friend's pushy.
What do you want from me?
Opens its mouth again and just,
Galdrien takes out rations and just starts throwing them into its open mouth.
Down the gullet.
You start pelting it with dry rations, and it gets more insistent and points. And standing outside one of the buildings with her arms crossed is this very tall, thin, blue-skinned woman. She has, if you've ever seen kudu horns, they like spiral straight up. And she's just got her arms crossed and is staring at you.
Well, I think we're there.
This thing like sees her watching you, and it runs over to her and sits by her feet.
Oh. Right, yes. And I recognize her as, Ferrari's Desire.
Ferrari's Desire, yes.
And you are exactly the person I was looking for.
And you are stupid. And she goes into the building she was standing behind, and you just hear her yell, "All right, everyone out." And when someone goes to complain, she just grabs him by the ear and flips him out the front door. And, maybe the 10 or 12 people that were in there complain at first, see her do that, and then book it out. And then she gestures for you all to come in. Closes the door behind you.
Right. Yes, we are stupid, but I will have you know we have also been through this before.
I don't care. Don't you say that name. If you know that name, you know better than to say that name.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say that here.
Right. Well, she who will not be named.
She. Oh, her.
Yes. You mean the other name, the R one?
Yes.
Yes.
We don't name any of them.
We won't name either of them. Well, the R one
But I'm Iocus.
is trying to have us have our souls brought into the underworld,
Yes, I am aware.
and we would like very much for that not to happen.
You have saved me considerable effort in tracking down exactly who the magic was targeting. I am well aware of any magics that are performed in his name.
And we, or at least my companion Ardith and I, are aware that you are bound to him and would like to escape from him, given the opportunity.
Let's just say that's true. Nice to meet you, Iocus.
Who are you? These guys seem to forget that I don't know everything.
Yes, sorry. Can't say her name without saying someone else's name.
What would you like me to call
You cannot say my name. I am called Rarari's Desire.
That's an interesting name.
It is what I am. And now that you're close to her, she has solid jet black eyes. They're just, like empty orbs in her sockets.
Horrid and creepified.
And when she opens her mouth, she has shark's teeth.
Huh.
Just like a triple row of teeth that are jagged and pointy. She has ungulate-style legs, so like digitigrade legs with knees that bend backwards and hooves. She says, "It is what I am. I am his desire."
Well, I would
It's only fire?
Oh.
No, he has more than one flame, as it were.
I would like to offer you an out. It's not a very pleasant one, having lived through it myself, but...
Go on.
Galdrien reaches into his pack and presents a black dragon mask to her.
And what is that?
How much do you know about black dragons?
How much time do you have?
All right. This belonged to... this was the face, I suppose, of a particularly unfortunate one by the name of Eldamian.
Right. And you want me to just put on a mask that I don't know the origin of, I don't know the wielder of, and you just want me to put it on. That seems particularly unwise to me.
It's incredibly unwise. I put it on once, and let me tell you, it was incredibly harming. It will bind your soul to the black dragon Eldamian.
Oh, well, I'm afraid I can't wear it then.
Fair enough.
She takes it and just puts it on her face, and it falls off.
It was worth a try.
She
It was
says-
worth a try.
Tieflings
She
have
says-
no souls.
Correct.
Look at me.
Well, it was worth a try. I thought of that one in my last life, but at least now I don't have any lingering regrets from that one, and he puts it back in his sack.
I wouldn't go on just carrying a magical object that binds and unbinds souls to it.
I was going to stick it on someone I didn't like if that didn't work.
That is a particularly dangerous magic.
We could put it on the death guy.
I don't think
I
that
don't
would
think
work.
he has a soul.
So,
Right.
now that we've established what you can do and cannot do,
Right. Well, a certain shadow dancer has already killed one of the inheritors, and is trying to work with a certain someone whose magics you know well to resurrect the red dragon Kemet.
is he still after that old thing?
Yep.
Yes. We were trying to find the human warlock Erithis, who is stumbling around in an amnesiac state around here, but
Or a statue.
or as a statue, and we seem to have lost him.
So, Rarari's Desire says you're looking for your friend. I suppose I could help with that, provided it is thwarting Rarari in some way.
Oh, we definitely want him to fuck off.
That's going to be difficult if he gets his way.
Which makes him not getting his way all the more important.
Right. I would be willing to assist you.
Good.
Well, we have a very gentlemanly soul construct after us on a strict time limit. Any ideas on how we might redirect that magic to somebody else, someplace else, sometime else.
Maybe find someone who is capable of transporting us to the astral sea without killing us?
Oh, that's...
No, I don't want to go there.
That's
I don't want to talk to
not
what's his.
a good idea. That's not something you want to half-ass.
No kidding.
And I would imagine that anyone here capable of even attempting that would only be improvising at best. What I can do is I can locate your friend if you'd like, or if you had something else in mind. As far as the magic itself goes, I know what was used to call that construct, as you call it. It is ironclad. There is only one escape from that.
And that escape would be?
To die.
I really don't want to do that. We still have
Does
lots
anybody have a resurrection spell?
We are not high enough level for that shit.
I can consume your soul and use it to power something else.
Yeah, no.
Which would give the simulacrum some of your traits, and she gestures at that little thing sitting at her feet. But it would not be an actual life. I can assist you. It's going to be costly. So you had better be specific in how you would like me to assist you.
Right. Well, we definitely don't want to die.
I can't help with that,
I
unfortunately.
have a spark of life. Maybe it will spark you back to life if you die.
I'm willing to kill him and find out. I mean, I'm sorry.
Here, hold this, Galdrien. Are you ready?
I'm not going to kill him.
No, you don't want to do that here.
Yeah.
If you die here, your soul is trapped here.
Hence the ghosts.
Oh. I
Yeah.
mean, then there you go. There's your answer.
No.
Not only no, but hell no.
And plus, I sort of promised Shannara, and I intend to keep this promise, that I would help her prevent the civil war that claims the life of her father.
I'm sorry, what?
Come again.
Oh, that's right. You were
Shit,
a little busy preparing the ambush that was...
We're going to talk later, Galdrien.
Dad's still alive. Shit.
God.
Yeah, we're not dying here.
Yes,
Other things to do right now.
yes, we need to get through this alive, because I am...
Then I can kill you. Yes.
You are not going to kill him.
See? Kill him. He'll hold the spark of life.
No one's killing anybody here.
Absolutely not.
No. You are not laying one hand on me until I make sure that Ardith and Shannara's father is not harmed.
I take umbrage at you pointing at me, but it's a good message. So I'll only break one finger later.
Iocus?
Shannara says, I don't know where you were the first go around, but Mom is going for a change in leadership.
Yeah, she's batshit insane.
She's not insane, she's just ambitious.
Yeah, I would go for that. She wins, if it's any consolation, but Dad's heart just wasn't in it, and it took its toll. A lot of the people that were close friends died.
Oh, well, that doesn't spell well for me.
I don't remember where you were. I don't know if you had left at that point. I don't know. But Dad's still alive now, which means that Mom won't marry. She gets remarried. And then she won't have our sister.
Yeah, surprise baby sister in like 30 years.
Huh. I wonder if she exists. Or will exist?
If she doesn't marry what's-his-face.
I really hate to be insensitive, but...
We're on a time limit, guys.
Yeah, we're on a time limit. We gotta...
Right.
Problems here. That's next goal.
Right. need to think of a way. If the only way out of this is to die, and dying in the city traps our souls here, can a soul be bound back to a body, and the body... Sometimes a body... sometimes when I know that...
The body lives past the soul's departure for a short amount of time.
Sometimes... I've seen it before. In medicine, an individual dies for a short time, but resuscitation is possible.
In our brotherhood, that is also a thing that happens. We call it out-of-body experiences. It's kind of a rite of passage.
Hold on. And she holds out her hand, and there's just a flame, and this like solid, gnarly black and brown book appears in her hand. She starts flipping it, flip. My experiments have shown that it is unlikely. I could possibly bind your body back, but whatever magics are affecting Cardinal, as far as souls and not letting anything spirit move in or out, at best I could only reanimate your corpse with your spirit, and that would be a very short-term solution.
All right, then. I have a
long shot.
I have a desperate long shot, and I don't know that it would work. And I am fairly certain that even if it did, I would regret it a great deal. In a past life, so to speak, I made a deal with a devil myself.
No.
Now, hold on. I'm not saying that we necessarily do anything that hasty. Just that right now, that individual would probably be in a disadvantageous position. We might have the upper hand if we were to make a deal with that person right now. If we even had the means to.
Don't get me wrong. You seem like a pretty enough fellow. But if you were to try and even contact Ferrari, I would kill you myself.
No, not that one.
Which one?
A fledgling. Problem is, likely thousands of miles away. Stuck in a form. Tell me, are you familiar with the name Eknis?
Oh, yes.
I know someone who, in the pursuit of knowledge, sacrificed her husband to Eknis.
I know to whom you are referring.
Yes, well,
we have maybe what you would call a tight-knit group.
Right. Well, I believe perhaps you know the name then, Fossis?
Oh, yes.
Right. May or may not remember me. I'm not certain how it would work, but I had dealings with Fossis in her true form in another life.
I can tell you that this individual currently holds no power as far as the Devil Princes are concerned.
Right. And I was thinking that perhaps might be able to assist in that regard.
His priorities are his own at the moment.
Right. So we can't count on help there then?
I don't have any recollection of random, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So,
There goes that avenue.
since I remember now that I used to sit and pray to my God.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to sit and pray to my God asking for help?
To what end? What would you like to ask for?
To somehow redirect this contract on us?
You can certainly pray.
I mean, while y'all sit there and talk, because I remember praying before all the time, asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she answers, sometimes she doesn't.
So Suna sits down, starts contemplating.
Or an idea of how we could possibly break this and not die.
Starts contemplating the goddess Alava, the goddess of nature and protection of nature, time, that kind of thing. For a moment, you just feel nothing. And when you go to ask for guidance and assistance, you are shown, I think from like 1,000 feet up, looking down at the enchanted forest, and it has just been gutted by fire. And Suna, like she was slapped off the table, just falls over, unable to get up.
My enchanted forest?
Your enchanted forest. You feel the scorn of your god. She is utterly disappointed in you for failing to protect your forest. Rorari's desire says, perhaps if you sat on the chair next time and not the table. In answer to your question, I am certain you could find Fossus north of the Obsidian Isles. But I can't guarantee that he would be interested in helping you.
And Fossus may not even have any interest in helping us anyway, or even have the means. So, what do we do now?
What is your most pressing need?
To not die.
Aside from not dying.
Oh, that's pretty... to protect our souls?
There is nothing within my power to protect you from that contract. Not without opening myself as a channel to Rorari. And that is the last thing we want. You and me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any mage that you may know of that wouldn't tap into Rorari's power that could protect the souls or sever the contract?
No. I wouldn't trust anyone with my soul like that if I had one. If they have the grip on it enough to protect it, they can manipulate it in other ways.
Is there anything within my monastic tradition that might touch upon souls or anything like that? Is there any previous knowledge that my character might have that would tap into this?
Is there something in particular you're looking for?
It basically a way to remove the soul from the body without dying. It was specifically under my monk.
Sounds like a good intelligence check.
Okay. Nope.
What's your total?
10.
10. There was a lot of sort of like contemplating the soul, and mostly it was in regards to like becoming a better being, but not necessarily like ascending in any way. As far as your studies there go, you were more into the physical aspect of it.
What if we could borrow someone else's soul?
I'm sorry?
Take some of these spare souls lying around, trick it into thinking they were our souls, smuggle our souls in past the gates, so to speak.
You would be... Let's just say that worked, which I would have to heavily consider the implications of that. But let's just say that worked. You would be willing to damn another soul to an eternity of potential torment with Rorari?
If they were a real bastard.
There are a fair share of bastards in Cardinal.
He's a bastard.
I mean a bastard as in bad person.
Oh. Okay.
There are a fair share of those in Cardinal as well.
See.
Funny.
I personally don't think it could be done. That is very, very dangerous magic.
Now, is there any way that we could destroy the construct? Or inanimate him? Or...
I suppose...
If he's assigned to us...
You could dematerialize him for some time.
I mean, that'd buy
define
us
some
time.
I don't know. It's not been done. It could be a minute. It could be 1,000 years. I wouldn't bet on 1,000 years if I were you, but it could be more time than what you have.
Well, let's visit this avenue of thought. Because right now we can't stop the contract. We can't access your demon lady, sir. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know either.
Hermaphrodite, technically.
Oh, okay. So we can't get Herm. And everything else that we're throwing is off the table. So if they have a specific agent to gather our soul, well, the chap was very respectful, but let's off the chap for a little bit.
I don't think you could indefinitely postpone things that way.
Oh no, without a doubt. But if we get 3 more hours, then we're already in a better situation than we were in previously. Granted, he will probably be a little bit less hire some tea and more like, here's the murder. But,
And that's any different from half the people we've met in the past 3 days.
All right, but Plan B will be the whole soul smuggling thing.
Yeah, of course.
You don't think your little one-eyed friend would be able to help?
I don't think his penis will help with this at all.
That!
I mean...
She did say little one-eyed friend.
I meant brave. But that would mean us getting to him to get him home, and we don't have the time.
So back to offing the Reaper.
Since your attempt to take him joyriding didn't work out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say that's more of a plan than we had 10 minutes ago.
That's more than a plan we had 4 hours ago.
Let's say that works and buys you some time. Then what?
Well, at that point, maybe we revisit my suggestion earlier. Buys us some time to look into the implications of it.
So, he said he was an ethereal construct.
Okay, hold on. Pause. Give.
You can't keep taking away all the toys.
I can if you're being noisy.
So he said he was more of an ethereal construct whenever you and I were speaking with him before these guys joined, correct?
Yeah.
Is there any binding or spell or anything that could lock the construct in place so we don't hurt him, we don't kill him, we just make it where his corporeal, ethereal form can't move?
She flips open a book, her book, and hands it to you. Like, very clearly printed in blood is that
Very
skeletal figure. And she goes, there's the details.
Wait, can't we just turn him alive? Then he has no way of going back also. He said he's never been alive.
Right. I'm certain we can take that, and Galdrien points to the acorn, and just, I'm... Shove it up
For those at home, there is a lifting of the robe and shoving it up. The spark of life, if you will.
Do you ever think to ask him? Maybe he wants to live. He wants to experience life.
Actually,
make him a deal. Immediate is not now.
He's tried that.
We
it
offer
was
him
more about
life.
experiences, but she's talking about the actual spark of life.
Yes, actually offer him life in turn for immediate being not now.
I would prefer immediate to be not ever.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're all gonna die one of these days.
Eventually.
Just maybe not going to his place.
Okay, that's fine. But what about after?
So then we take him on an adventure. He comes with us while we try to figure out how to...
But what are you going to do?
Stop Kmet from being
Sure,
raised?
but how?
We get the inheritors together. That's going to be difficult with a certain batshit insane shadow dancer, but
And one dead water genasi.
maybe we cut her down and get the whoever's next in line in her family line to show up.
Is there any way other than the inheritors to stop this from happening?
Not that we know of. Unless someone wants to volunteer anything.
I see it as you have a couple of problems.
Only a couple!
Man, it's been a few days since it's only been a couple.
You need the location of the inheritors.
Don't have.
You need the location of your friend. If you gave me something to go off, could probably divine that.
Okay.
You need something to buy you time. I could possibly provide that. Outside of your whole impending death. Give me something to focus on, and I can help.
Finding the inheritors for now. That'll be our very next step. Correct?
Yes, finding the inheritors.
Okay.
I know.
Or would buying us time be more important? I mean, not just...
Well, I know where Wolfswift is. Or rather, I have an idea where she is. I know where Silence should be, but we don't know even the identity of who the next water inheritor will be. And Mardiana, or...
So first, inheritors. Second, buy time. Third, our friend.
Yes. Let me see that spell book. Galdrien's going to start looking into the spellbook to four-way to some sort of banishment or other way, binding or some sort.
The wording on it is particularly precise. Like, there is no exit clause other than souls taken out, delivered to the person or being that requests them. There is nothing as far as this individual construct. It is just a construct shall be appointed to do this thing.
Does it say anything about it having to be this, in the precise wording about it having to be the soul of the person requested?
Yes.
Okay.
It is an individual with the description and location is specified, and it has to be that thing.
Okay. So much for that. Galdrien will start flipping through the rest of the book then for any sort of other spells that might...
It is blank.
Because of course it is.
Other than
the things she showed
the
you.
things she showed you.
Right. In that case, first priority then, buy us time.
Okay. Are we agreed then?
Sure.
What's the price?
None.
None? Just making sure.
Provided at some point...
She gets freed from her...
Well, there is no freedom for me. There is only less restriction. Provided you put a, what would you say, a metaphorical boot up Rorari's ass.
We were planning on doing that anyway.
Good.
Yeah.
Because the thing about our bond is I get to feel his triumphs and successes and failures as keenly as he does.
Mm.
So knowing that he is suffering as I have suffered under his power, I think that would be good for the soul.
That you don't have.
It's just a saying.
No, okay.
Whatever floats your boat.
It sounds like you have an appointment to keep. I will see what I can do.
I guess it's time to die.
Hey, don't fear him.
She opens the door and says, I would offer you a drink, but I feel there's a good chance it might just be wasted.
Isn't every drink wasted?
No.
No flour for you to burp up.
That's true. You don't get to make that mistake this life.
It was cute the first time.
Actually, there's one thing I want to do before I kick it.
I'm spoken for.
No. So am I. The one that makes you with the flowers.
Oh.
And Galdrien will slip her some coin.
No. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
She goes and starts to pour a drink and then thinks better of it and then just hands you a bottle.
Cheers. And Galdrien pops the top and just downs the entire bottle in In one gulp.
This is like a wine bottle sized bottle.
Yeah, or not one gulp, but he just downs the entire thing.
Chug, chug, chug.
Puts it down on the table.
Really?
Yep, when Galdrien chugs this entire bottle, he starts burping, and then he hiccups, and when he does, bubbles come out. And when the bubbles pop, it just goes, and then flower petals start falling to the ground.
He places a hand on Iocus's shoulder. He goes, holds out a hand and goes, and reaches up a intact flower and hands it out to him.
Oh, well, thank you. Iocus stares at it, thinking, is this edible?
Well, he did drink
Yep.
when it came out.
And proceeds to eat the flower.
You are, without a doubt, one of the weirdest groups of individuals I have ever met.
Yeah.
Why did you do that before I died?
Really?
I'll just be chewing on the stem.
Right. Well, have fun.
Uh-huh.
I'll be here. If you
Make
live.
it. Yeah.
Showed the sun cheers for sovereignty in my ass. Made someone eat my barf. It was a good day.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I died puking on the board, so...
When you when you step outside, let's say you're closer to one of the other gates. That hooded figure is over there, and he appears to be talking to some of the ghosts outside the gates. And when you step out, he sees you and gives you a wave.
Flower?
Oh, I can't take it with me when I go.
Right. Can't let it go to waste.
Give him the suppository of life.
Aren't we going to try to make him a deal?
Oh, yeah.
Consent is important.
He gestures like away from the city and goes, "If you don't mind, I wouldn't want to cause any collateral damage."
We're not leaving the city. We have to talk over the line.
Well, I suppose you do have a few moments left.
Okay.
Is this where you attempt to make me some sort of deal?
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, well, feel free, but
The forms must be absurd.
I understand. Going down swinging and all of that.
Yeah.
That's the next plan.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So what if we can make you alive?
I cannot.
But what if we could?
Can you?
Would you take that chance? And not take us right away? Your immediate not now?
I think you fundamentally misunderstand the material and time and effort and intent that form me. I cannot be made alive.
But let's just say you could. Would you want to experience an adventure?
I can't be made alive.
But let's just say you could. Would you want to go on an adventure?
Let's just say the air was gold and the sky was fire. We could say plenty of things, but...
Yes, but this one affects you. If
Yes.
you could, would you want to go on an adventure?
I already go on adventures.
Would you be willing to experience life with us?
No.
No?
Listen, I have a job to do, and
I secretly snuck the acorn to Iocus.
while you're...
I guess it's gonna walk around.
While you're...
Suppository of life!
You exit the city,
Oh,
walk around him, and try to jam this acorn into his robes. There is nothing under there. Like, you lift the robe up, feel around. There's
And let
nothing
it go, does it disappear?
No, it just falls to the ground.
Shove it down his
Okay,
throat.
then.
And he looks at you. I'm sorry, you're presuming upon my individual being, and that is quite rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hungry?
No, thank you. You try to press it into his mouth, and it just hits his teeth. Can I help you? No, thank you.
I don't want to die.
It is an unfortunate side effect of your mortal condition.
The last wish of a dying man. Just eat the snack and I'll go with you.
No, thank you.
Then I won't go with you. Step back into the city.
Should have put it in something.
Like what, tea?
I tried to.
Ooh.
I feel you're not being particularly sporting about this.
Well, yeah.
I have all the time in the world. You, unfortunately, do not.
But what if you traveled with us?
I really feel now that you are presuming upon the small amount of leeway that I gave you.
Mm-hmm.
But you might enjoy living,
Alas, poor Yorick.
experiencing life. Feelings, pain.
Allow me to turn your own argument upon itself. Have you been dead before?
Probably.
How do you know, then, that you would not enjoy it? Perhaps it is just another great adventure.
I'm not arguing that I won't enjoy death. I'd probably enjoy that, especially since, I failed my god. But it's the whole being imprisoned by that devil prince dude
Well,
that I have the issues with.
time is strange in the astral sea.
Mm.
Did you know that it's poisonous? And
Explosive?
Yes.
Oh, I've not gotten that close to it before.
Well, I have, and let me tell you, it is quite fascinating.
Well, be that as it may. I think it is in all of our best interests for you to just step out.
Have you ever seen
No.
an angel before?
Yes.
Have you ever seen lots of angels?
Yes.
Have you ever seen lots of angels get disintegrated by light before?
By light? No.
Have you ever seen lots of angels and even devil princes get disintegrated by light before? Have you ever seen the end of existence before?
This seems oddly specific.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Suna remembers this as well.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who doesn't.
Yeah.
He nods, where appropriate, or shakes his head where appropriate.
Because I have seen things that that even your master would not be able to fathom.
It's possible. But that's neither here nor there. We can argue this all day long. You can stall as long as you'd like while you're behind this.
You're right. We can stall.
You can.
We've got all the time in the world.
Just know that the second any part of you leaves this, I'll have to fulfill the contract.
Now I have a question, guys. Since he's already confirmed that this he can't cross, can we take this with us?
Excellent question.
I mean, isn't there possibly we could make necklaces or something that takes this with us?
That's a good question.
It's a good thing to find out, but
Because we already know he has indirectly confirmed that he can't
I'm right here.
come
yeah,
in.
we know.
Yeah, why don't you come over here?
Why don't you come over here?
Oh, no, we've already discussed that. I'm not crossing that line. You come in here.
Oh, yes. I see what you're doing. You are trying to insult me and demoralize me. That is
No,
not
I
going
could.
to work.
I couldn't demoralize.
We actually like you.
Yeah, you've been very friendly.
It's
Yes.
your employer who wants to go fuck himself.
So, what would happen if you crossed over here? Just purely hypothetical.
He reaches up and just puts a finger in the doorway, and when he does, there's this light blue glow, and he just presses against it a couple of times, and he just can't pass through it.
You know,
We've reached an impasse.
I have to say, I like you. I'm sorry that we're at odds, but thank you for answering that question because I was really curious.
Oh, if it assists in resolving this situation.
Oh, it is just something. So, he's already confirmed that he can't come across here, and he's a very likable guy. But he's not a guy and he can't be alive, so where does this leave us?
Leaves us with back to the tavern.
Okay, at least we get more time here in Cardinal. Maybe we can make this a nice base of operations.
I forgot what I was saying, so.
Everyone said head back to the...
Yeah, head back to the tavern.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Bought us some time.
You head back to the tavern.
Hey, RD.
She looks up. She's studying her book. That was much quicker than I anticipated.
Turns out, cannot get into the city.
So what is this charm on the city that keeps the dead from...
No idea.
Who would?
I was afraid of that.
Whoever created the city?
Any idea who we might be able to speak to get that into a nice, tidy, portable form?
Cardinal is one of 2 major cities that have been here forever, so I suppose you could ask somebody in Bulib.
Yes.
I don't know of anybody here that has been alive that long.
If it would be anybody, it would be one of us goddamn elves.
Yeah. Or a dragon of some sort.
Do you by any chance know how sparks of life work?
She takes it from you, looks at it. I don't know what this is. It appears to be an acorn you have carved out of stone.
Okay. You know where I could, find some dirt in a pot?
Sure, you could probably go buy one from any of the craftsmen.
Okay, I'm gonna go buy some dirt in a pot. I will be right back.
Don't get lost.
No, you go find a market stall and find someone who sells you a little
dirty pot.
A little pot. Nobody will sell you dirt, but you could probably just scoop some up.
Okay. I'm gonna plant the acorn.
You heard it here. Pot dealing on average adventuring party.
Yep.
And put some water on it. And just go back to the inn holding it, or the tavern.
Yep. You plant it.
See what happens.
Put some water on it. Nothing happens.
Think this is gonna be like a lemon tree?
Maybe.
Might be how you regrow your sacred forest once you get there. Oh wait, I don't know that, sorry. No, you said you angered your god about...
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, well, so we can't leave the city because the instant we do, Galdrien makes a scything motion. So, we live here now.
Well,
Yeah,
he was waiting on the other side, and he was following us a step at a time. So, maybe we leave out the other side.
Something tells me that's not going to work.
Probably not, but it's a thought.
It's something.
Unless we can get us one of those teleportation spells.
Awesome.
RD?
Last one we tried wasn't exactly reliable.
It's a long shot.
At this point, reliable is a little bit less worrisome than not fucking here.
Planar teleportation is much more linear than astral teleportation. I could probably help with that in some regard.
All right.
So, Believe?
What do you think?
Wouldn't he just follow us?
Yes, but he's going by foot.
Sort of. This is death.
That's a construct.
I mean, what makes you think that he just can't poof and be somewhere else?
That is a good question. Can he just poof and be somewhere else? You two are the ones who read the book. Was that in the details?
You're the devil, aren't you? Tell us the details.
She grabs the book and says, "My best guess is that if he is as you described, he was walking along to be polite and not just appear in your midst."
So the way I see it, we have...
We live here now.
And so, the caldera explodes in fiery doom.
We have only maybe 2 options. Option 1, we take our chances in Believe. Do you think Believe would be nearly as protected as this city?
Most certainly not.
Option 2, we stay here.
Well, either way, then, he would get his wish, because we won't be able to stop him from doing.
What were we
What he's
originally
trying to do.
coming to Cardinal for?
To talk to Rorari's desire.
Okay.
Option
And-
3.
But it was about Margiana, not about
This.
keeping us alive.
Option 3.
We die and just go and see what he wants.
I don't like that option. No.
I don't like that option at all, unless
No.
we're bombing the place and putting him the burr on the way out.
Option 3, do you think you could put me into contact with Fossus?
Sure,
Right.
if that's what you really want.
If there are demon princes, are there also angelic princes?
No.
That seems somewhat unbalanced.
That's what the gods are for.
Correct.
And
Angels are
apparently-
manifestations of any given god's will.
I've apparently pissed mine off, so we won't get help there.
I don't believe in
I don't know anything at all about displeasing gods.
No, not at all.
Right. Well, let's at least see if you can put me into contact. See if Fossus is even interested in or in a position to hear our plight. And if so, we can pursue that avenue. If not, then we proceed from here.
Very well. I will see what I can do. And that's where we'll go ahead and call it for this episode. These guys have, taken the easy way out.
I'm sorry, there was another way?
I mean, sure. There was an even easier way.
Yeah.
Dying.
Dying's easy.
Living's
Living's
harder.
harder.
So that's what I've got for this episode. Since we're at the end of the session, you guys get to take an incremental advance. If you want to go ahead and tell me what it's going to be.
I'm taking a feat.
You're taking a feat. What feat are you taking?
Ritual casting.
I'll take hit points.
You'll take them fancy hit points.
I seem to have a job.
See,
Doing hit points too.
doing hit points as well. for
Yes,
Arthur?
I'd rather not be squishy.
Yeah, me either. To 50.
Fuck that.
I'm going to take extra magic item.
Okay. So those are our incremental advances for this session. Just, as always, you can find us on Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, all those fun places. I know I've said it before recently, but I'll say it again. This past year has been kind of shit on everyone, really, financially. So if you want to help us out but don't want to donate or become a Patreon patron, the best way you can help us out is by, telling a friend, getting us some exposure. We do it all for exposure, really. And
Mainly the bard. He
Yeah,
exposes a lot.
trust me, Galdrien exposes himself all the time.
Love you, honey.
Just like Galdrien says, he can do a whole lot with your mouth.
oh no. Yeah.
All the mouth stuff to the friends.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, you
Average
heard
adventuring
it.
party.
You heard it here. Average adventuring party says do mouth stuff to your friends. No, just like getting us views helps us, or getting us listens. That kind of thing helps us out. Reviews on, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, Google. I think we're on Stitcher. Like literally anything on there helps more people find us. I've said it to these guys, like I'm not in it for the money, but it sure as hell helps. The more exposure we get, the more people we get, the more money we get, hopefully, and the more things we can do. We have some plans for the website. We have some plans for additional podcasts. In addition to the off-season stuff, I would like to have more rotating things. We can have more people GM. We can have guests on, that kind of thing. And really, we can't do anything like that without money. I hate that, but since we're starting with no budget, no gear, and all that, it is a consideration for us. So,
Dims the brakes.
yeah, that's how it goes. So, marketing spiel over. other than that, we like hearing your feedback. I think I've gotten a couple of emails that I need to go over. We really would love to hear from you guys. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, the kind of content you'd like to see.
I would offer you fan service, but I can't draw that fast.
Oh,
Yeah. No suppositories of life, please.
Now I really do want a shirt of the Reaper holding the acorn, looking at it and going, you want to put this where?
Or just the acorn. That's one suppository of life.
So,
What, in 8-bit?
oh, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've got. You guys got anything?
Nope.
No. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you all next time.